Marjorie Taylor Greene has a lot of anger inside of her. Not just right now, but like in general, she is a very, very angry, disturbed individual. But right now, her anger has, of course, boiled over. She's mad at Donald Trump. She put a post out on social media over the weekend saying, "I will not just be giving my vote." And then she listed a bunch of specific things like a Ukraine mineral deal that Trump is pushing that she's not going to vote for. So she basically, without having to mention his name, blasted him on social media. Then, of course, she's at war with Republicans in the House of Representatives. She doesn't like this deal they're working on with the budget. She's not crazy about it. And she also this week decided to launch another fight with Donald Trump's staffers. And she did that on Monday on Steve Bannon's podcast. So just to recap here, Marjorie Taylor Greene is basically fighting with Donald Trump. She's fighting with the rest of the Republican Party in the House, and she is now fighting with the Trump staffers. So again, this is a woman who fights everybody for the sake of fighting. So here is what happened on Monday's episode of Steve Bannon's podcast. Bannon starts off, they're kind of talking about the possibility of a war with Iran, which, by the way, Republicans have wanted for many, many years. So Bannon says, quote, "First off, Fox is making a huge deal of this. Everybody's making a huge deal of this. Now you see a wedge coming between the base and President Trump. Nothing could be further from the truth," he said. "There's no wedge." And Greene says, "That's a lie," talking about the wedge. "The wedge is between Congress and the establishment Republicans that are undermining the president's agenda. And also anyone that gets in the president's ear and is lying to him about what he should be doing, here's the real issue. So before I even get into that, she's calling out the president's staffers and cabinet members who she says are getting in his ear and lying to him, which is correct. They are doing that about many things, including Iran. However, Greene's anger is misplaced. And I'll get to that in a moment, but I also want to point out that she says, the Republicans in Congress are undermining Trump's agenda. No, they're not. Not even close to that. They're going along with every single thing he wants. That's why we still don't have that big, beautiful bill of a budget, because they're trying to fit in every single thing that Trump wants to do. They are not in any way undermining his agenda. That is a lie from Marjorie Taylor Greene. But she continues. "We are embracing Make America Great Again. MAGA, America First. MAHA, which is Make America Healthy Again. No more foreign wars. This whole populist movement supporting America and American workers and American companies and American interests in solving American problems. What we saw is all these Republicans that rejected Trump fought Trump in his first administration. And here's the issue, Steve, is they think they can manipulate the president, but you can't manipulate the base." Okay. So no more foreign wars. 100% agree. I'm all on board on that. The rest of this is total BS. There is nothing populist about Donald Trump. There is nothing populist about Marjorie Taylor Greene or Steve Bannon. You haven't done a single thing since you came into office, Marge, for American workers. Not one thing have you done that actually benefits long run American workers. You are not a populist, and how dare you even use that word to describe the friggin' billionaires that are currently running the country. They are in it for themselves. Donald Trump has gotten, $2.9 billion since he came into the White House? A little over 100 days, $2.9 billion richer, and done nothing for the American public except raise their prices. Manufacturing is not coming back to the United States. People are losing their jobs left and right, not just within the federal government, but private companies, of course, are also laying workers off. Workers are getting screwed. The people that the real populists care about are getting screwed every second of every day of this administration. So don't you dare call yourself a populist. What you are is effectively a nihilist. You don't care about anything. You kind of just want to see it all go to hell. You're an anarchist, really. You want to destroy everything for the sake of destroying it. That's why you're fighting with his staffers. That's why you're fighting with him. That's why you're fighting with your fellow Republicans, because that's all you know how to do is cause this chaos because you want to burn the system down. You have repeatedly said over the years, Marge, that you would love to see the government shut down. Right? You've pushed for government shutdowns. You think it's great. The rest of the country doesn't necessarily think that. And, you talk about the Republican base, and that brings me back to the point I was getting at earlier, is that the base has left you. Also, the so-called MAGA base is like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of society as a whole. It is like a super minority at this point. And not to mention the fact that many in the MAGA base are actually unhappy with a lot, not all, but a lot of what Donald Trump has done. They're not happy about paying more at the grocery store. They're not happy about having to pay more for other goods and services throughout the country. He is losing them. And they've literally admitted he's going to lose me. The farmers that helped put him in office are at this point almost rebelling against him. They don't like what has happened. He's already lost the base, Marge. So again, you're mad that people in his administration are lying to him. And again, you're right that they are. You're just wrong about the reason. See, because what's actually happening is that the White House, the staffers, the cabinet members, everybody else, like we saw in that disgusting cabinet meeting last week, they're lying to him by telling him that everything he does is great. Everything he does is smart, and everything he does, everybody loves. Those are the lies that are keeping Donald Trump inside of his alternative reality, where he doesn't understand and can't comprehend that polls say people don't like him or his approval rating is underwater. He doesn't understand that, not because he just chooses to not believe it, but because everybody around him tells him everyone loves you. Everyone loves the tariffs. Everyone loves every move you've made. So when he sees these polls come out with his approval rating diving in each new poll, of course it's hard to believe. Like, what are you talking about? Everybody says I'm doing great. Obviously, this is criminal, and I now have to prosecute the New York Times. Because yes, that's what he's working on right now because of their polls. Those are the lies that are dangerous. And obviously lies that, hey, Iran is an imminent nuclear threat, those are also exceptionally dangerous. But Marge, again, you're wrong about the reason you're mad. Your reason is right. It's just wrong about what they're lying about, I guess. But it doesn't matter because, again, Marjorie Taylor Greene is just an angry human being. She has nothing but hate and vile and vitriol in her heart. So it wouldn't matter if she was getting everything she wanted in life because, much like Trump, she has. She is a multimillionaire. She is in Congress. Hey, what more could you want? But it's still not enough. She's still not happy because deep down, she is a miserable human being. I do believe that she hates her life and she probably hates herself. And so she takes that hatred and anger out not on her, but on everybody else around her, including her friends and allies. Not that I think she has friends, but, political friends. So she's fighting Republicans in the House. She's fighting Donald Trump. She's now fighting his staff. She's fighting everybody on the left. She is quite literally a one-woman army fighting against everyone because she doesn't know how to process the fact that she actually just hates herself. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.